Good morning, my sweet friends. I hope you're having a lovely day whenever you're watching this. I have a lot to update you guys on. I even have my computer here to reference just so that I don't forget anything. Basically, we have been having van issues. And if you're new here, I'm Casey. I live in my self-converted camper van, Maggie, full-time on the road with my cat, Olive. So yeah, we've been having some problems with the van, and it kind of boils down to 4 things I've been noticing. The first is temperature gauge fluctuations. I mentioned this in a previous vlog that I was noticing my temperature gauge would start to rise when I was going up steeper inclines. Now it is happening if I accelerate for too long on flat ground as well. The second problem is that I'm leaking coolant. I've basically just gotten in the habit of keeping extra bottles of coolant here in the van with me and checking my coolant level often and topping it off frequently, which I do realize is just a band-aid for the situation. The third problem is I've started to smell sulfur here in the van after I drive around for a while, which I know is not good. And then the fourth problem is that my AC isn't really working all that well. So we have a whole cocktail of issues going on, and I am finally getting all of them fixed because we've been somewhere long enough now that I have had time to actually look into local mechanics and take the van in somewhere that I trust with my home, which admittedly I am a little bit nervous and reluctant to do at times. So yesterday I brought Maggie to an all-American automotive location. This is not sponsored. This is not a partnership. I am paying for all of the work that I am getting done there, but they have been really incredible. I think the people are super helpful, super kind, and they did a lot of work for me yesterday. So just to recap everything that we've already done, they found a big crack in the bottom of my coolant reservoir that I was leaking coolant out of, so they replaced that for me. And then related to the coolant leak, they found some pretty rusty spots on my front transmission pan where the coolant had actually been dripping down onto. So they replaced that for me as well because some pretty important electrical components actually passed through that pan. And then they did a coolant flush, they did a fuel system flush, and an oil change as well. So a lot has been done, and today I'm planning on test driving Maggie. I have some errands to run around town, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to see how she does back on the road. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm a little bit nervous to see what things are fixed and what problems are persisting, but I will report back And yeah, wish us luck. I am actually just gonna check my coolant level before I go. All good. Okay, here's my short-term update. I think we're about 50-50 on stuff that seems to be fixed and things that still need to be worked on. I am still noticing some upticks on my temperature gauge, and I'm still noticing a little bit of a sulfur smell as I'm driving it around. It's nowhere near as bad, but it is still there, so I'm not out of the woods with either of those things yet. I do think my AC is working well, and I don't think I'm losing coolant anymore. So that's good.
Services, Jacob.
Hey Jacob, it's Casey. How are you?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I've been driving the van around today, kind of trying to test it out, see how it's doing. It's even when I'm getting on the interstate and I'm just accelerating.
It's getting up to 3/4. There's something definitely not working properly. So yeah, there's definitely things we can do.
Okay. Is there a time or a day or a time that you'd be able to get me back in? I know I'm a problem case.
No, you're good. I mean, Friday would definitely work.
If it's best for me to be there when you guys open again, I can be there when you open.
Okay. Let me get you in here.
At some point, I'll probably throw brake pads and rotors at you guys. If you know, but that might also be another day.
We can check and make sure how thick they are, make sure your rotors aren't warped or anything.
Okay, sweet. Thank you so much. I will see you Friday morning.
Sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Good morning. Good, how are you? I made you guys lemon bars.
Oh, that's amazing. How are you doing this morning?
Okay, I don't know if it's helpful at all, but I took a video like on the drive here of exactly what's happening with the temperature gauge.
It goes all the way up to 3/4, and then as soon as it shifts, it goes right back down.
Yeah.
We'll get it fixed.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna hang out in my room.
We found a bleeder nut, I guess you would call it. It's broke.
Okay.
We've got one coming. So hopefully once we get all that in there, we're gonna bleed the system again. See if there's any air bubbles in it, anything like that, any kind of air pockets. Thermostat's opening where it should. Now granted, he's gonna hook up the scanner, and while he's driving it, try to get it to reproduce what it was doing with the scanner connected so that we can get freeze time data. So if for some reason you have a part that's faulty while driving instead of just parked, then it would be a lot different than, you know. I mean, there's always a possibility of a million things when it comes to these vehicles and computer systems, but we'll see whenever he's driving, find out what happens.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Wow, what a relief.
Yeah, so he said it's not moving now. I said, she's got to find new homes. I'm not driving this off the cliff.
Were any tears shed?
He might have.
I hope not. Well, you guys, it is nighttime and Olive and I are winding down before bed, but I just wanted to do a quick recap of everything that happened today because I'm not sure what footage I got of it. So, two major things. They found another coolant leak. I actually have a valve that's stemming off of my heater core that is leaking coolant, and they needed to order a part in order to replace that. So that isn't fixed yet, but they did find it, and they seem fairly confident that that is the only other coolant leak that I have, which would be great. The second thing that they found, which was major, was that my thermostat was airlocked. So the way I understand this, based on how they've explained it to me, is that you can develop pockets of air in your coolant system, and if those pockets of air accumulate around your thermostat, then the thermostat is just measuring the temperature of the air and not the temperature of your coolant, which is much hotter. Anyway, it can be quite problematic and cause the sorts of things that I was experiencing. So they did what's called burping my system, and they got all of that air out, and then they also replaced my thermostat for good measure. So I still have to go back to get the leaking valve replaced. but I already drove the van 30 minutes from the auto shop to where Olive and I are staying for tonight. And I'm telling you guys, the van feels better driving it now than it felt the day I bought it. The temperature gauge stayed midline the entire time. It's shifting gears really smoothly. It's accelerating really well. And for what it's worth, I didn't smell any sulfur. So I'm very happy with all of the repairs that have been done so far. They haven't been cheap though, in case anyone was wondering. Just what I had done the other day and today, not including what I still have to get done, I have already paid $2,249.34. So, not cheap, but to be honest with you guys, I think that's just the price of van life. If I weren't living here in the van, I would almost certainly be throwing money at a rental apartment every month. And so the way I see it is these repairs are kind of few and far between, and at least I am putting that money towards something that I own and love. And in my opinion, Maggie is well worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. And just in case they're watching, I want to say thank you to Greg and Jacob and Sean at All American Automotive. Thank you guys for taking such good care of my home. I really appreciate it. As always, Olive and I hope you guys have a lovely week, and we will see you in the next video.